Hey guys, we are back with some more Wolfsburg Wolves franchise mode, and in this one, we're going to get year 2 underway. First, I'll show you guys the lines that we have come up with for the start of the year. So we have Panarin, Point, and Sheary, and then Wilson, Bellemare, and Connolly. I'm putting Homer on the third line because it says third line scoring forward. I want him to be in his role, so he's with Pajot and Bonker. Wanted to have him to have some pretty decent line mates. And then Archibald, Gauntz, and Hansik. And then defensively, Ouellet and Van Riemsdyk. And then Kuleshov and Chara have been moved up to the second pair this year, as I'm pretty sure that Kuleshov should be a top 4, probably borderline top 4, but still, nonetheless, top 4. And then Braden Coburn with Tim Heed. And then power play, Panarin, Point, Sheary, Kuleshov, and Heed. And then Bonker, Pajot, Homer, Chara, and Coburn. Then the same thing relatively for the 4-man power play. And then penalty kill would be Bellemare, Gauntz, Chara, and Van Riemsdyk. And then Pajot, Archibald, Coburn, and Ouellet. Same thing again for the 3-man penalty kill. 4-on-4, Point, Panarin, Ouellet, and Van Riemsdyk. And then Pajot with Sheary and Kuleshov and Chara. And then Homer and Bonker. I'm putting Homer at center because I feel like the majority of the wingers in this game are actually pretty good at face-offs, so we'll try out Maddox Homer at center, see if there's like a Stuart De Silva type thing going on there, and then Coburn and Heed. And then 3-on-3 is Point, Panarin, and Chara, Pajot, Sheary, and Kuleshov, and then Homer, Bonker, and Coburn. And then extra attackers, Point and Pajot, and then shootout, Panarin, Point, Sheary, Homer, and Bonker. So basically all the same players all around. And then Leonard and Berube. And then Sislo and Mitchell are scratched. So, and then AHL-wise, don't have too many prospects down here, obviously, yet, besides Voloshenko, Dykes, Staples. I think that's it. So, yeah, then you got Reichel, Quinn, McCarron, Ferraro, Street, Walker, all these veterans down here to help out these young guys that we have drafted. And then defensively, I don't think we have any defensive prospects down here. And then goaltenders, same thing, Wedgwood and Svedberg. So, and then all these guys scratched, as you can see. Wait. Dominic Bach. Forgot to address him. Where's Bach? There he is. He was at the bottom of the list. That's why I didn't have him dressed initially. All right, there we go. So, yeah, Bach is in there. He'll be starting on the 4th line this year. Hopefully he can get some good experience there in the AHL. And everywhere else looks good. So let's get to the start of year number 2. All our scouts are sorted and all the lines are sorted for the start of the season. So let's get into it. I'm not going to play a preseason game. We are going to view the first game of the season, however. And let's get to it. All right, so we actually have a significant road trip to start this season. Vegas, Carolina, Washington, Vancouver, and St. Louis. Our first home game of the season is on the 23rd against Nashville. So we will simulate up to then, and we'll see how we do in this first part of the season. So preseason games against Winnipeg, 4-1 win, 4-2 win against St. Louis, 3-2 win against Dallas. So we're getting off to a good start in the preseason at least, but we all know that does not mean too much. 3-2 loss against Nashville and a 1-0 loss against Chicago. Let's see if we can close out the preseason on a good note. Yes, we can. 4-3 win against the Colorado Avalanche. So assign scout, I already did that off screen. We'll sim the first couple of periods, and then we will get into it for the third period. So, first period, goal by Brett Connolly on Saros, but Ryan Johansson on Robin Leonard. Second period, goals by Johansson again, and then Colin Wilson for us on Saros. So 2-2 tie going into the third period. Let's do it. All right, here we go. First home game of the season against the Nashville Predators. Third period. Here we go. Point out there against Johansson. And we are underway. Forsberg gets it to Ellis, the captain, apparently, of the Nashville Predators. Dumps in and given chase by Ouellet over to Point, who gets it to Van Riemsdyk and up to Panarin. Panarin over to Sheary, who takes it in the zone. Sheary over to Panarin with the shot on Saros, who covers up with 18-19 remaining in the third. Face off to the left of Saros. Point versus Johansson once again. And Johansson wins it this time. Or Point wins it this time. Jeez. And Point gets it in the middle for Sheary. And Sheary tried to find Van Riemsdyk there on the point. And there's a delay penalty on Nashville. And we are going to a Wolfsburg power play. As I'm not sure if I saw anything there. So let's see what this is about. Philip Forsberg heading to the box. Second power play wave out there with Pajot, Bacher, Homer, and the defenseman in Heed. And I believe that is Kuleshov. I saw 5 on the end of it. I didn't see the first number. Pajot. Yes, that is Kuleshov. Kuleshov with a shot. Goes into the corner. Nashville gets it around the boards, but Pajot gets it back where Kuleshov shoots it, and no one picking up the puck there until Bacher gets it, who is tripped up, and we have a 5-on-3 for your Wolfsburg Wolves. And number 12, Niku, is heading to the box for Nashville after a trip on Mikael Bacher. So Panarin, Point, Sheary are out there now for your Wolfsburg Wolves against Turris, Ekholm, and Ellis. And then Heed and Kuleshov are still out there. Kuleshov gets it in the middle, but Ellis is able to clear for Nashville. 1:20 remaining in the 5-on-3. Heed gets that up to Point, who gets it to Sheary. Sheary over to Panarin. Panarin takes it in the zone. Over for Point, who gets it to Kuleshov. Kuleshov for Heed, who takes that slapper, and Ellis will clear once again for Nashville. Heed giving chase, gets it behind his own net, gets it to Kuleshov. And Kuleshov looked like he was trying to go for Point there, but finds Panarin instead. Not necessarily a bad thing. Panarin gets it to Kuleshov with the shot, and Saros will glove it with 48 seconds remaining on the 5-on-3 and 15:52 remaining in the third in a tie game here against Nashville. First line still out there. I would imagine the defense has changed, however, as yes it has, as they were out there for quite a bit. Chara gets that at center ice, over to Coburn. Coburn into the zone. Finds Point with the shot. And a good save by Saros as Sheary is knocked down. And that will be cleared into the Nashville bench, I believe. As we get a stoppage with 34 seconds remaining on the 5-on-3. Sheary was just bumped into by Saros. He gets knocked over. Oh, man. So Bacher, Pajot, and Homer are out there now. With 34 seconds remaining on the 5-on-3. Along with Chara and Coburn. Chara gives chase. Gets it over to Coburn, who gets it for Homer. The 3rd overall draft pick in this past draft. Coburn in the zone. Homer takes that. Number 12 gets it to Chara for Pajot. Pajot shoots, and a great glove save by Saros with 12 seconds remaining on the 5-on-3. Pajot out there against Turris, taking that face off. And he wins it back to Chara. Bacher, down low for Pajot, and Bacher tries to backhand that, but gets it into the corner instead. As Coburn gives chase. 28 seconds remaining on a 5-on-4 power play as the 5-on-3 is expired. And here's Pajot. Pajot gets it back for Bacher, shoots, and he goes high with it. Oh my goodness. What a chance for Wolfsburg. But they could not capitalize as Bacher gets it over to Pajot. Pajot going to the boards, and oh my, what a goal by Maddox Homer, the rookie. And that is his first goal, I believe. As yes, it is the Selly. We got to see his first goal in live action. Maddox Homer with his first career goal on front of the home ice fans. The right winger, number 12, the 3rd overall draft pick, looks to have a bright future for your Wolfsburg Wolves. And they're going to save that puck. I'm glad he saved it for this moment right here. Oh my goodness, what a beauty. What a pass from Pajot as well. And he just snipes that thing past Saros for his first career goal. Very nicely done. The crowd goes crazy for Maddox Homer, the 3rd overall pick. Homer from Pajot and Bacher on the power play nonetheless. Kuleshov will take that off a face-off win from Bellemare as Connolly gets into the zone with it. Connolly circles it around the boards, finds Chara. Chara goes down low. That's unusual, as Chara gets it back from Connolly, and Kuleshov is tripped up And that was not a penalty, but that was. And Chara shoots it on net. Wilson has it in the corner, and puck was jumping a little bit there, but he got it back as Point gets it on net, but Nashville will touch it, and your Wolfsburg Wolves have another power play, leading 3-2 with 11:29 remaining in the third, as I believe that is Kevin Fiala who will go to the box for Nashville. Yes, indeed, for hooking. And let's go, boys. Let's get a 2-goal cushion here. As Point, Panarin, and Shiri out there along with Kuleshov and Heed. Then Subban gets it over to Niku for Nashville. But Panarin pokes it away from Niku. And another delayed penalty on Nashville as we have an upcoming 5-on-3 for the next minute 50. My goodness, Niku heads to the box once again for Nashville, as your Wolfsburg Wolves look to capitalize here on this huge opportunity, as we've had 2 5-on-3s in a row in this period. So, Point, Shiri, and Panarin will be out there once again, I would imagine with Heed and Kuleshov, as yes, they are. And Nashville will get that out, but only as far as Kuleshov, as Panarin will take that into the zone. Finds Point, who finds Shiri in the middle, and Point will get it back again in the corner. Kuleshov over to Shiri, and Panarin was there in front for the tip. And he gets his glove on it, does Saros, and Maddox homer with his first goal, as we know. Second line power play out there again. Maddox homer with Pajot and Bakker. Maybe another goal from Homer here, as Coburn takes that shot, goes wide of the net, and Subban tries to get it out, and Homer looking for a second with the backhand on Saros, and he will cover up with 1:25 remaining in the 5-on-3. Pajot taking that face off against Nick Bonino and wins it. Back to Coburn, over to Bakker, or back over to Coburn, who finds Chara. Homer over to Bakker in the slot as he takes that shot off the side of the net. And Nashville will clear as Chara will give chase. Dumps it around the boards, does Chara, and finds Coburn, who finds Pajot. 2-on-2 opportunity here as Pajot tried to find Bakker, but there was a Nashville defender who was positioned very well. Coburn takes that up for Wolfsburg, finds Bakker into the zone. Good job by him to stay outside. Bakker to Coburn with the shot right in front of the net, and that will get cleared by Nashville as well with 36 seconds remaining on the 5-on-3. Chara takes that. The captain of Wolfsburg gets it to Bakker. Bakker tries to find Pajot, but cannot, as it gets intercepted by Nashville, and Chara will collect once again. Gets it to Homer. Maddox homer had his first goal tonight, gets it to Bakker, back for Homer. Homer tries to find Chara, but it got deflected, I believe, on its way on a Nashville stick, as Chara gets it back for Homer. For Pajot. Pajot trying to find space, finds Homer. Homer gets it back to the point where Chara is available. And Coburn dumps it in. Tries to find Bakker, but gets around him and finds Homer instead. Pajot for Bakker as the penalty kill has expired for Nashville, and we are back to 5-on-5 as Engeland gets it up to Fiala. Fiala for Niku, who is out of the box. And Niku gets that shot on net for Leonard, but Pajot gets it over to Homer. Homer gets absolutely leveled by Derek Engeland. And Engeland sends Arvidsson on his way. Arvidsson for Niku, who kind of gets tripped up, but you get away with one there as Kuleshov gets it up to Panarin. Panarin over to Point. Point back to the point where Kuleshov gets it for Panarin, and Panarin battling along with Arvidsson, but Niku takes that for Nashville as he sends Forsberg into the zone, as Forsberg backhanded it on Leonard, but a great glove save by him. Thornton out there now against Braden Point, and the faceoff will be won by Braden Point as he gets it back to Van Riemsdyk, but taken by Nashville, number 73. And Panarin battling along the boards, gets it to Ouellette. Ouellette for Van Riemsdyk, up to Point. Point goes into the zone, good job by Shiri to stay outside. And Schmidt will get that deflected by Connor Shiri, I believe, as he Goes down low with it, but intercepted by Baptiste. And Ouellette takes it back for Wolfsburg. Oh, Ouellette with the shot on Saros and a great glove save by him. With 54 seconds remaining in the third period. And hopefully your Wolfsburg Wolves can close out this game for their first win of the season. And oh my, Braden Point got absolutely crushed there. Wilson, Bellemare, and Connolly out there against Forsberg, Johansson, and Arvidsson. I do not believe we have seen the fourth line out there as of yet, as we've had several power plays this period so far. So I'd imagine the first and second lines are dead tired. But Johansson over to Arvidsson with the shot, and Nashville has pulled the goalie. 40 seconds remaining. Arvidsson down low, number 11, and Ryan Johansson was poking at it, but Leonard does the smart thing and covers up with 34.6 remaining in the third. Shot goes wide by Arvidsson, and then, yeah, good job to poke at it by Nashville, but Leonard isn't having any of that. As we have a face-off to the left of Leonard with 34.5 remaining. Face-off won by Nashville. Ekholm gets that over Fiala. Fiala in the middle for Forsberg, and oh my, Leonard covers up again with 26.9 seconds remaining in the third period. And this third period is going by very slow, as especially here in the final minute with the amount of penalties that we've had, and then with how many stoppages we're having now. It is seemingly taking forever to get over this third period, but you know, whatever you have to do to win. Whatever you have to do to win. We're getting our first win of the season here, hopefully. As a great glove save by Robin Leonard on PK Subban, nonetheless, as that will be shot into the empty net by Colin Wilson. And that'll be all she wrote for this game, as Wurst celebrates the first victory of the season, presumably, with Wilson's empty net goal. As he takes that shot from, I believe, behind the blue line. So, pretty good empty net goal, especially for, as we all know, the empty net glitch being in this game. As that will be a 4-2 lead for your Wolfsburg Wolves. And finally, the fourth line is out there with 18.1 seconds remaining. Archibald, Gauntz, and Hensick out there. And Nashville will pull the goalie once again. Baptiste back to Ekholm. Ekholm gets it over to the other point, who takes the shot, but Gauntz will take it instead for Wolfsburg, and Hensick gets the empty net glitch. And there you go. Your Wolfsburg Wolves have won their first game of the season, 4-2 against Nashville. Very nicely done, boys. Very nicely done. I'm very, very glad we went into this game, as Maddox Homer did have his first goal of his young and hopefully prosperous NHL career. All right, so here we go. Let's get through at least, I want to say through November, December, if we can. I mean, we're only about 20 or so minutes into this video anyway, so yeah, we could definitely make it that far. And again, this is kind of going to be another one of those tanking years anyway, so it's not like we're going to be making too many changes. So a nice 8-1 victory over Detroit, my goodness. And Colorado looks to also be in the running for the first overall pick, as we go on a 3-game winning streak, but then followed up by 2 losses against Edmonton and Minnesota. Shootout loss to Montreal, 5-1 loss to Tampa. So 3-8-1 are your Wolfsburg Wolves, now 3-10-1. So we're still kind of on track for that first overall pick here, it appears. As yes, a loss against Philly with a 4-1 loss there, and Pittsburgh. So this should not be this is not going to be good. It appears, yeah, no, a 3-0 loss. So still your good old Wolfsburg Wolves tearing up the league in terms of getting that first overall pick once again. Get 2 wins in a row against Winnipeg and the New York Islanders, but then a loss against Anaheim, and then a win against the New York Rangers, then 2 losses against Ottawa and San Jose. So we're 6-16-1 on the season so far. Not too bad for our standards. 3-2 overtime win against the New Jersey Devils, 3-1 loss against the Buffalo Sabres, and then we have, what do we have against Florida? We have a 3-2 loss. So we are definitely looking to get that first overall pick once again. as we are way below 500, 820-1 currently. So yeah, there's not really much that we can do to improve this team right now, at least in terms of trades or anything. The best we can hope for is the first overall pick. We've got shafted 2 years in a row. We got the 5th overall pick to start the GM mode, and then the 3rd overall pick last year. But this year we're definitely in contention for that first overall pick once again. 10, 24, and 3 halfway through the season now. It is looking like another 21 season for your Wolfsburg Wolves. Maybe a little bit more, but not much more than that. As yeah, Colorado is back on track. So I would not imagine that they would be in contention for last at this point, which we're in last by, I would say, a long shot. Oh, actually, the New York Rangers. The New York Rangers. Only 22 points. So we are second to last right now. So, that's, wow. New York must be absolutely terrible. Oh, man. All right, so one thing that we are going to do right now, we will check the draft class for the first time this year, so we probably have enough information on these guys, and the German, Jörg Aho. A German going in the top 3 this year, boys. Oh my goodness. We might, even if we get the first overall pick, which it looks like it's going to be Lafreniere this year, we might have to take Aho instead, even if we, get number 2 or 3. Because, man, the first elite German player to join the Wolfsburg Wolves, Jörg Aho, that would be fantastic. Another power forward, center, plays like Sean Couturier. Then you got Dmitry Chubarov, playmaker. And even Chubarov doesn't have the good grades that Jörg Aho does. And I don't believe Lafreniere. Yeah, no, Lafreniere has a lot of B's there. As Afanasenkov, a lot of B's as well. So it looks like Jörg Aho is actually the best player in this draft regardless of where he is going. So I don't know. Hopefully he drops down, because I would love to pick him up even if we don't win the lottery. Strengths, 200-foot game, goal scoring, and puck protection. And he's 6'2", 202 pounds. Looks like a solid player. Hopefully we can get him. As, man, so much for fulfilling our requirements of getting a German player in the draft. Hopefully we can pick that guy up. He could be our one German player for that draft, and he can also be the best player in that draft, oddly enough. So, wow. What an opportunity. So I think we can keep going here. Obviously, we're not really in a place where we're going to contend, so I see no reason to stop the video. But what we will do is sort of just check out the overalls here. Kuleshov's still 81, and he is a top 4 defenseman. There you go. That's what I figured. So made the right call putting them on the second line there. Maddox Homer, 3rd line scorer, as expected. And then, yeah, really nothing much to do here. I mean, we could give Berube some starts just to tank a little bit more, just to get below the New York Rangers. But we'll let that happen naturally for right now, and we'll see what happens as we get closer to the trade deadline. And if it comes down to it, then we can obviously make some changes necessary to get past the New York Rangers in terms of tanking. So that game against New York, that's going to be key. Hopefully they win that. So let's see. Detroit, 4-1 loss. There you go. Helping out those lottery odds. There you go. Loss against Colorado. Loss against Edmonton. Keep it rolling, boys. Minnesota, they're pretty good. Let's get a solid loss against them as well. Go for that first overall pick. 5-2 loss. There you go. Montreal, they get a 3-1 win against us, and we lose. Or no, we get a 3-1 win against them. What on earth? Oh, man. So, I'm so used to losing that I, at first, thought that was a Montreal win. So, a loss against Tampa, a loss against Boston, win against Chicago, loss against Philly, win against Pittsburgh. Then against Columbus, we have a win as well. Don't get too many of those there, boys. New York's kind of with us in terms of this first overall pick race. And then win against the New York Islanders as well. So let's see. How's New York doing? Oh, man. It's neck and neck. It's neck and neck right now. I didn't think New York would be... I don't think any team would be as terrible as us, but man, the New York Rangers are proving me wrong here. So we're going to turn automated goalie rotations off just for right now because, yeah, this was unexpected. I was not expecting any team to be bad as bad as us. No, almost no team that is not user controlled, that is not an expansion team, is that terrible. So we're going to make a few changes here, as the main change being, yeah, all right, perfect. The computer already did it for me. Berube is in there for, I would imagine, until we are at least a solid few points away from the Rangers, in terms of the Rangers being ahead of us. So let's hope that the Rangers win this one, and that is the first time I've said that in a while. So, come on, let's go, boys. Get a solid L on the board here. First period, 2 goals by Archibald and Connolly. Not what you like to see, because they're not rookie goals, and they're not goals by the New York Rangers here, and we are looking to tank. So, man, the Rangers are really a lot worse than I thought. Second period, there you go. All right, so Buchnevich, Keedle, and Anderson, all the young guys for the Rangers scoring in the second period. Shots are even, actually. So let's slow sim this. This is kind of tense. As if the Rangers win this, they will tie us in terms of points, and then we can really start racking up those L's. Because if we lose to the Rangers, then we can lose to anybody. So, here we go. 6 minutes remaining. Come on, boys. Don't get any more goals. That's the only time you're going to hear me say that. And Nyquist with the empty netter. So, there we go. We lost against the New York Rangers. So, as I said before, we could probably lose to anybody. And I wouldn't imagine we'd be able to beat too many teams either. So, yeah. We are now tied in points with the New York Rangers. So, let's leave Berube in there for a little bit, as Leonard has had quite his fair share of games, I would imagine, at this point. We'll leave him in there till the trade deadline, because why not? Because we really need that first overall pick. But then again, if we do this, I would imagine the NHL will probably shaft us, and we'll get 4th overall, and then we will not get Yorgaho. But this is a video game, so I'm just going to hope that the voodoo's on our side. When he gets New Jersey. So oddly enough, after that game against the New York Rangers, we are 2-2. Now 3-2. What is going on here, boys? Maybe it's our excuse me, a 1-0 win against Calgary? What is going on? Well, I hope the Rangers have been winning. And again, the first time you've ever heard me say that. It appears they have won a couple of games since then, but they have not won as much as we have. So, time to make another change. Let's see what we have going for us. You know what? Let's get... I hate to do this, but I'm just going to try it. Archibald in the first line with Point and Sherry, and then Panarin on the 4th line. Let's just see what that does, honestly. Let's see if Hansik gets, like, 1 billion points all of a sudden from being on the line with Artemi Panarin. That's obviously not going to be permanent, but I just want to see what happens anyway. I've always wanted to try a superstar on the 4th line, so I figured why not. Toronto, 4-1 loss. There you go. Dallas, 2-1 overtime loss. We got a point out of it. Not what you like to see. Not in this year. And a 2-0 win against the LA Kings. What is going on, boys? There you go. 6-2 loss against the Arizona Coyotes. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see if the Rangers are any better. Okay, so the Rangers have won a lot more games since the last we checked. They're now above us in terms of points, but only by 1 point. And with the way we've been getting points recently, I would not be surprised if this is going to be a race to the end of the season for the first overall pick with the New York Rangers. At least in terms of the odds for the best overall pick, obviously. So, game against Vegas at the trade deadline. Not going to be making any trades here, I don't think. Because any trades that I would be making would likely be in the offseason, at least for this team for right now. So, We're going to go the rest of the season. Do we have any more games against the Rangers? It doesn't look like it. No, we do not. So we'll just sim up to the end of the season and hope that we can get a good amount of L's in there. I'm hoping for at least 15. We are already at 20 wins, so we're already better than last year. So we at least have that going for us, but we have 2 wins in a row right now. 3 wins in a row. As we get a loss against Vancouver, come on, boys. I don't want too many of those wins in general, but definitely not winning streaks for this team. Oh, man. There's a win against Detroit. Loss against Colorado. And, come on, L against Edmonton. We'll check the draft class later. Shootout loss. We get a point. Minnesota, 2-1 win. What is going on? What is going on? You're ruining it. You're ruining it. What is going on here? Come on, boys. All right, please, New York. Please, New York. Please, New York. All right, so New York is definitely a lot better now. They might have made some trades at the trade deadline to improve their team, which is good, obviously, in this case. So they're 4 points ahead of us. We're still in last, but it's still going to be very close. It's still going to be very, very close. So let's keep going. Come on, boys. Oh, man. 3-2 win against Tampa. What are you boys doing? 3-0 loss. There you go. That's what I like to see. 4-1 loss. Okay. Overtime loss. You got a point. There you go. 4-2 loss. 3-2 shootout loss. We got another point out of that game. 4-1 loss. And a shootout win to end the season. What are you boys doing? You're not supposed to win that much. And again, when we're tanking, that's the only time you hear me say that, of course. But 61 points on the season for your Wolfsburg Wolves. Definitely a better record than last year. I believe we had, 48 points last year? So we have 61 this year. We definitely improved. We know that. We have Artemi Panarin. We have Braden Point. And we made those several free agent signings for depth. But the question is, are the New York Rangers above us in the standings? Let's see. Yes, they are. That was actually close. That was very close. The Columbus Blue Jackets. I was just looking at the 8th spot. I didn't even see that it wasn't the New York Rangers. The New York Rangers passed the Columbus Blue Jackets. So we were competing with 2 teams there, but Columbus nonetheless still had more points than your Wolfsburg Wolves. So we have the best odds at the first overall pick. So that is good. We will check the stats for the end of the season here, and we'll see what happens. So Panarin with 55 points, I would imagine that was stunted a little bit by putting him on the 4th line, but you got to do what you got to do, to get that first overall pick, or the best odds. Again, we're probably going to get screwed over by EA Voodoo, but, can at least get the best chances possible. So Maddox Homer with a 22-goal season in his rookie year. Not bad. Not too shabby at all. Good amount of takeaways compared to giveaways. Oh my goodness. He had a great season. He had a great rookie season. Good job, Maddox. That's what I like to see. Minus 34, of course, is not pretty, but, the entire team pretty much had that, so can't really look at that too much. And then in terms of shots, 242 for Maddox Homer series. He is definitely a shooter, so that's good, obviously. And Braden Point, 185. Kuleshov had a 28-point season, so not too bad. Definite improvement over last year, obviously, since he had a little bit more to work with offensively this year. With Artemi Panarin, Braden Point, Maddox Homer. 8 goals, 20 assists for 28 points, 11 more than last year. Still minus 33, but again, can't really look at that stat too much for this team, at least not right now. Significant increase in ice time for him this year compared to last year. 15:46 last year and 20 minutes flat this year. 25 hits this year, improved physically. Looks like his ratio in terms of takeaways and giveaways went a little on the south side, but again, he's trying to create more offense this year. He's on the ice more, so it would make sense that he has more giveaways. And he has an 82 overall as well, so he's showing some progression there, so that is always good to see. Everyone else doesn't really matter here. They're not really too much of a long-term project for this team. The only ones we really care about are Homer, Panarin, Point, and Kuleshov. So, and they're all the ones who have the most shots. So that's good. Power play points, yeah, I'd imagine these guys, yeah. Panarin, 27.24. Homer, 21 power play points in his rookie year. And then Kuleshov with 11. All right, let's check. I guess face-offs. Yeah, Homer had 50% on face-offs, so that's good. Hits. So 145 for Cha, who obviously leads the way. Homer with 111, as we saw before. Takeaways and giveaways. Only going to look at really the guys that I care about. Well, Bacher could be someone who is on our team for the next 2 or 3 years or so, because he appears to be very, very good with those takeaways and giveaways. And then Panarin, obviously. Shiri, he's pretty good as well. Definitely want to keep him on the team for a little bit longer than 1 or 2 years. I would imagine he'll be pretty good. And then Maddox, Homer, obviously. Braden Point. Pajot had a good ratio as well. Colin Wilson, he was a very good pickup depth-wise. Defensively, anyway. And let's see. Chara, Archibald, he actually had a good ratio, too. Connolly didn't have a good ratio. Ben Riemsdyk, Coburn, Heed, Kuleshov, Ouellette, Hansik. Okay, so that's about it for that. Let's check goaltenders. Let's see how Robin Leonard did. Berube actually had more games than Leonard. And Leonard had a 906, so not really deserving of a long-term spot here on this team, but we'll see how he does next year. If, you know, we're still at this point next year. So let's check the AHL real quick. We don't really care about goaltenders. We just care about our rookies. Dominic Bach, 14 points in 82 games. And was this his first AHL season? I swear I saw he had some going there. Oh, that must have been the preseason for St. Louis that we saw his stats for. So he didn't play professionally at all until this season. So first professional season is complete for Dominic Bach. 62 overall. I believe he started as a 58, so he saw some growth there. Dalton Dykehughes, 61, 8 goals and 5 assists in his first season. And no, not the Binghamton Devils. So forwards, let's see the other guys who we are concerned about. Voloshenko, 25 points. And then Staples with 11 goals and 13 points. So that's it for your Wolfsburg Wolves for year number 1. And let us simulate up to the draft lottery, as there's not really any point in checking the team stats at this point because, you know, not really much to improve, at least not right now. So let's hope that we can win that lottery and maybe even pick Jorg Aho with our draft pick. That would be one of the shining moments for this team, as I'm pretty sure if we didn't take Jorg Aho, the natives would be restless, to say the least. So let's go into, I guess, the AHL playoffs, right? Because Berlin's in it. So let's see what happens there. Berlin with a win, another loss. There's another loss, and there's another loss. So Berlin out in the first round once again. So let's get to the draft lottery here, as hopefully the voodoo is nice to us here. All right, so let's actually see the draft class here, because it's been a little bit since we've checked it. So Lafreniere is a high elite, so that's why he's going first overall. Okay, I see. And Jorg Aho is going second, and he is a medium elite. So if we get the first overall pick, we're going to have to choose between Lafreniere and Aho. Now, obviously, Aho is the German, but Lafreniere has the high elite. So you got to really take that into consideration. But then again, since we're a team from Germany, do you really want to pass up on Jorg Aho? Probably not. So Aho and Lafreniere are the only guys who I'm really paying attention to at this point. I should probably pay attention to depth. So I'm just going to hope that our scouts have been doing their job, which, you know, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So, you know, it's whatever at this point. It's not like I could do anything about it. And the Stanley Cup champions are the Dallas Stars, and the Calder Cup champions are the Utica Comets. So let's see. Here we go. What's gonna happen? Hype music. You gotta be kidding me. The New York Rangers! You've gotta be kidding. Shafted 3 years in a row. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, we know Lafreniere is going first with that high elite. But do we want to try to trade for that second overall pick? Because we just got shafted, boys. We got shafted hard by the NHL, and Zdeno Chara has retired. Oh my goodness. Retired players becoming scouts. Very nice. Okay, so, well, I'm going to stop it here. Let me know what we should do. If we should try to trade for that second overall pick. Because there's no point in trying to trade for the first. Because we know that Lafreniere is without a doubt going first. But to get Jorg Aho would be significant for this team. It would be a milestone worth celebrating. You know, a great German player joins the only team in Germany in the NHL, or the only team in Europe in the NHL for that matter. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys on the next one. My God.